Hi, I'm Dana. Welcome to this week's question. It comes from Mel, and she writes, my 3.5-month-old self-settles and up until 10 days ago was only waking once for a feed and then sleeping through until 7 a.m. But just recently, she's been going to bed at 7 p.m., waking up at 9:30 p.m., 12:30 a.m., 4 a.m., and then up at 7. Nothing else has changed, and I've been getting up to breastfeed her, and she goes back to sleep quickly. Should I keep getting up to feed her or try to see if she'll go back to sleep without it? Well, I always say if a baby did it once, there's no reason why he or she cannot do it again. And sometimes the consistency comes from just you being consistent. So if she was only waking up once a night for a feed, then I would hold her to that. I can't see why, she's sleeping through and only waking once, and now all of a sudden it looks like there's 3 wake-ups in the night, and each time you're feeding her. And so what can happen is a baby can think, well, whenever I wake up, I just let out a few cries and someone comes and feeds me. And so it can be a fast way back to sleep again. You've mentioned that she falls asleep quite quickly after the feed, and so that leads me to think that she may be using either the breast or the bottle as a way back into sleep faster. Even if she's not nursing all the way back to sleep, she could be using it just to get herself nice and dozy again and drowsy, and then just doing a last little easy bit on her own when she gets to the crib. So you really, my best advice is that you go back to what she used to do. If she was waking up around 1 a.m. for a feed, then I wouldn't feed her unless it was close to that 1 a.m. feed time. So let's say she woke up at 9:30. First I would give it 5 minutes and just see what she does. It might just be a partial arousal, which is really common in babies all the way up to the first birthday. So if she just cries for a couple of minutes and goes back to sleep, well then problem solved. But if it goes on longer than 5 minutes, then it's definitely worth a check to make sure that everything's fine. I would go in, remind her it's sleepy time. You could even, give her a quick hug for some comfort, and then back to the crib again, and either stay with her until she goes back to sleep or leave and check on her every 5 or 10 minutes, whatever is most comfortable for you. But I would definitely get her back on track with her just 1 a night feed. And then at the feed, when actual 1 a.m. rolls around, when you do feed, make sure she's not using your breast or bottle as a way back to sleep. So you'd take her out, you'd sit up, you'd make sure you keep a close eye on her. And when you notice some, drowsy eyes or heavy blinking going on, just give her a couple of pokes or call her name. Just really keep her with you through the feed so that she's actively eating but not using you as a way to get back in. And then she should go back to the crib wide awake, as wide awake as possible for a 1 o'clock feed, and then again nothing more until 7 a.m., which she was doing before. So again, down the road, once she's sleeping through, then really hold her to that as well, that if she's done a few nights of no feed at all, then you really wouldn't go back to that, because then you can send some really confusing messages quite quickly, and pretty soon a baby's not sure what's going to happen in the night, and so they'll try all kinds of different things. So that's my best advice for you, Mel. Thanks a lot for your question, and sleep well.